All right, let's dive right in. For the next few minutes, we are going on a journey deep into the microscopic heart of what makes you, well, you. We're going to explore the incredible, hidden world of your cells, how trillions of them live, divide, and, just as importantly, how they know when it's time to die. I mean, have you ever really thought about it? How does a cut on your finger just heal? Or how does a person grow from one single cell into, well, a whole person? The answer to all of it is happening inside you, right now. It's this constant, microscopic, and super-regulated dance, the life cycle of a cell. So our journey starts with what's called the cell cycle. And you should think of it less like a single event and more like a really strict checklist. A cell has to tick every single box in the right order before it's allowed to divide. It's this beautifully organized process, not just some chaotic split. Now, a lot of us remember learning about mitosis in biology class, and we kind of thought, okay, that's how cells divide, end of story. But that's not the whole picture. Mitosis is really just one critical stage. It's like the grand finale of a much bigger, much longer cycle of growing and getting everything ready.
Because before a cell can even think about splitting in two, it has this monumental task to complete. It has to make a perfect copy of its entire instruction manual, its DNA. This is absolutely critical to make sure the new cell has all the info it needs to work properly.
And that process is called DNA replication. You can basically think of it as a biological photocopier. It's also known as semi-conservative replication, which sounds complicated, but it just means that when a copy is made, each new DNA molecule keeps one of the original strands. It's a fantastic quality control system that guarantees each new daughter cell gets a complete, identical blueprint. And this isn't random at all. It happens in 3 really precise steps. First, you've got initiation. That's kicking the whole process off. Then comes elongation, where the new DNA strands are actually built, piece by piece. And finally, termination, where everything wraps up, and you're left with 2 perfect copies of the original DNA. Done. Okay, so the blueprint is copied. The cell is finally ready for the main event. This is the part we all remember from school, mitosis. This is literally how you grow and how your body repairs itself every single day. So here's the key takeaway for mitosis. Its whole goal is to create perfect clones. Think about it. When you get a paper cut, your body uses mitosis to crank out new skin cells that are exact replicas of the old ones to heal that wound. It's pretty amazing. And the outcome is simple but so powerful. One cell becomes 2 identical cells. This process is the engine that drives our growth from a tiny embryo, and it's the tireless repair crew that's constantly fixing and maintaining our bodies for our entire lives. But growth and repair isn't the only reason cells divide. Nope. There's another, very special type of division that's fundamental to creating the next generation, and that's called meiosis. And right here is where we see the huge difference. Mitosis, as we said, is for body cells, skin, muscle, you name it. But meiosis, that's exclusively for creating reproductive cells, sperm and eggs. And the process is totally different. It goes through 2 rounds of division, not just 1, and the result is 4 unique cells, not 2 identical ones. Just remember this number, 4. That is the magic number for meiosis. From just 1 starting cell, you end up with 4 potential reproductive cells. And every single one is genetically distinct. And here's why that's so important. These 4 cells are not identical. They're unique, and they each have only half the normal amount of genetic information. This genetic shuffling that happens during meiosis is the very foundation of diversity. It's why siblings, born from the exact same parents, can look and be so different from each other. So, we've covered how cells are born and how they multiply. But that's not where the story ends. The final chapter, a cell's death, is often just as important and just as planned as its birth. This is a process called apoptosis. Now, when you hear cell death, you might think of something messy or chaotic. Apoptosis is the exact opposite. It's a clean, quiet, and incredibly controlled self-destruct sequence. The cell basically tidies itself up, packs its bags, and gets disposed of without making a mess or causing any inflammation nearby. Yeah, the elegance of this whole thing is wild. It's all about the programmed removal of specific cells without harming nearby cells. It's like a microscopic surgical strike. Incredibly precise. So why is this so important? Well, a couple of massive reasons. First, it's our body's #1 defense against damaged or potentially cancerous cells. It basically tells them to self-destruct before they can cause trouble. And second, it's a master sculptor. Get this, apoptosis is what actually carves out the spaces between your fingers and toes when you're developing in the womb. So in a very real way, cell death is absolutely essential for life. And that brings us to our final thought here. This whole system, cell birth, division, death, it's all a really finely tuned balancing act. So what happens if that essential program for cell death fails? What happens when a damaged cell gets the order to die and it just refuses? That question right there is at the very heart of understanding some of the most serious diseases we face.